What's going on, everybody? This is the first review from STM GameSpace. Today I'm going to review the Xbox Showcase July 24, 2020. They're showing off their first party lineup for the new Series X, and it was one hell of a showcase. One of the biggest things that Xbox is pushing through going forward into this new generation is Game Pass. Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Game Pass is the best thing, in my opinion, in gaming today. Where other competitors, like PlayStation doing PlayStation Now, puts out games from the old school days and throws them on there so you can play them from all different generations. Game Pass is the only thing going on right now that play brand new launch games the day of launch on Game Pass. So if you want to see different games that you want to play and you don't want to spend $60 on a brand new game and realize 5 days later this game sucks, Game Pass, $10 a month, play all the games you want, and then if you love the game, you get a discount because you're a Game Pass subscriber. The one thing about this showcase that, like I said, they push through is Game Pass. Every one of these games I'm going to discuss today is available at launch on Game Pass. When the game comes out day one, it's on Game Pass for you to check out. They started this showcase with a fucking bang. They started off with Halo Infinite, the demo. Now, I saw little pieces of Halo, and I'm not a Halo fan. I know there's Halo fans out there that love this franchise. You're going to love this game. Again, I'm not a Halo fan, but what I saw, I loved. It was beautiful. It flowed well. The gameplay flowed without delay. It's built from the ground up, and it's going from what Microsoft is pushing as their promise for the new generation, 4K standard 60 frames a second. Watching this demo looks incredible. It's got a new open world. It's got different places you could go. It looks great. Anything this game, and plus Halo is available at launch at the Series X and on Game Pass. And say you don't get an Xbox Series X at launch and you have an Xbox One, you can get Halo Infinite on the Xbox One. As soon as you get the Series X, you get a brand new copy free of charge on the Series X through Smart Delivery, which is another great thing Microsoft is starting. So after the great demo, we had the State of Decay 3 reveal, which, again, I never played State of Decay. Game looked great. It looked beautiful. The visuals looked great. After that, we got the message that a new Forza Motorsport is in development, in early development. So I'd say we'd see maybe a teaser of that maybe in another year. Maybe if E3 is available next year, we might get a piece of that. What they did show with the Forza game is very beautiful, and they showed in-engine trailer. So everything you saw in this trailer was in-engine. And again, like the promise, 60 frames a second, native 4K. Now the next game they showed, I'm looking very, very highly on, because I've been a fan of Rare for a very long time. They made my favorite game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. They've done Donkey Kong Country. They've done Sea of Thieves for Xbox, which hands down is one of the best multiplayer games out right now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful combat. Their newest game that they've been working on is called Everwild. Now, not every game has to be a AAA exclusive. Everybody thinks only AAA games that are exclusive for certain consoles are the most beautiful games out there. I disagree 100%. This was a very artistic looking indie game, and it looks very interesting. I love the comic book painting feel of it. It looks really, really great. I cannot wait to play this game. Again, when it drops, get it on Game Pass. They also went into Rare partnering with another studio called Shootin Tha Entertainment, and they debuted a new game called Tell Me Why. And from what I can see, it's like a murder mystery game. Again, beautiful visuals, great art style, very story driven. It looks like that game's going to be good as well. After that, they went into talking about putting a new version of Ori out. Ori the Will of the Wisps for the Series X. If you own it like myself on Xbox One, you're going to get this new copy immediately as soon as the update is available and you have a Series X. They are guaranteeingly saying 120 frames per second, 4K and HDR enabled. From what I saw, it flows seamlessly. And this is already a franchise that is very, very, very beautiful in spec and in scope. So I am definitely looking forward to the new Ori Will of the Wisps for the 4K. The next couple games are done by Obsidian, which, if anybody knows Obsidian, I know it from Star Wars, The Knights of the Republic 2, the Sith Lords. They are very big into role-playing games. Very great company, and it's a Microsoft exclusive company as well. They got to show off their game that I'm looking very forward in seeing, called Grounded, which I call Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in video game form. It's a game that I got to play on a beta, and I loved it. I think it's awesome. It's good for, it's a multiplayer game. You can play with your friends, and it's a survival game into the backyard with like monster spiders and ladybugs and all this other crazy stuff. It looks awesome. It is also coming to Game Pass July 28th during game preview. So if you are interested in playing what a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game would look like, get it on July 28th, download it and install it from Game Pass, and you'll get to check it out as well. They also showed off the expansion of a game that I beat and loved, and I've been singing its prayers for a long time now since I've been able to play it. Outer Worlds. If you like a first-person shooter in a space environment, very story-driven, check out Outer Worlds. It's a great game. It's on Game Pass right now. It'll take you about maybe 20, 25 hours to beat. Maybe 30 if you want to unlock everything. Well, they debuted the new expansion for it called Peril on Gorgon. I am definitely looking forward to playing that. I had a great time with Outer Worlds, so this expansion I'm definitely going to eat up once it comes out. Obsidian also has been working on a huge original RPG game that a lot of RPG fans like myself have been waiting for and wondering what this game is going to be. Well, they announced it today. It is called Avowed. It looks like almost like a Skyrim clone, almost first-person RPG. They didn't really show gameplay that much. It was more of a cinematic trailer, but they're showing you what's in the works, and from what I saw, it looks great. I'm definitely all about an original RPG, as long as it's great. Obsidian also has been teaming up with a company called Interior Night, and they have a new game coming out called As Dusk Falls. That game looks pretty sweet too. It's another artistic indie game, almost like a comic book come to life, the way that the movement is. It looks really cool, and it definitely should be on your radar, and that looks as good too. We have a promo next from Hellblade 2. Hellblade was one of those games from Ninja Theory that you didn't really know about, that it just came out of nowhere, and it was a success, a weird success. And a little backstory is about a female Celtic Viking, dealt a lot with schizophrenia and mental health, and a lot of people really liked it, and I thought it was great. It was only about I'd say about a 20-hour gameplay campaign. Really good, very tight, good graphics, good combat. So when they debuted the Series X in December, the first thing they showed off was Halo Infinite, and they debuted the reveal of Hellblade 2. Now, they were talking with this promo, they were talking that it's built from the ground up, from Unreal Engine 5, looks beautiful. They did a lot of location scouting for this game, so that graphics are going to be as realistic as possible, and the visuals are stunningly beautiful. And again, 60 frames a second, native 4K. Now, I'm hoping and praying that this is going to be serious, and they are 100% on.
Really?
Let's try that again. Little mess up, but the show goes on. I'm hoping and praying that they stick with this 60 frames a second, native 4K through most games, because that would make people very, very happy. It will show off how powerful this console is, and their biggest tagline is, it's the most powerful console in the market, blowing out the competitors. If you give us a standard 4K 60 frames a second, you're on your way to greatness. The next thing they showed, now I'm not a fan of this franchise. I know people that are. Double Fine, who just became a Microsoft exclusive company, part of the Microsoft studios they acquired. They debuted today Psychonauts 2. Now, I'm not a Psychonauts fan. I know there's some people that love Tim Schafer and Double Fine. If you don't know who Tim Schafer is, he was the mastermind behind Brutal Legend with Jack Black. He's done Psychonauts and a whole hand slew full of others. They did the reveal with Jack Black coming in and doing the song for the game, and they showed gameplay. It's very weird. It's very kind of like creepy and just weird visuals. But it looks very interesting if you're into that type of stuff. It's not my camp. Maybe I'll try it because I am a Game Pass subscriber, so I might install it to check it out. But it looks really good. And the song that Jack Black does sounds awesome. I'm happy that Jack Black and Tim Schafer has collabed again, because Brutal Legend was pretty cool. Again, it wasn't in my camp. It wasn't a game I liked, but Brutal Legend was a success, and a lot of people liked that game. For all you MMO fans out there, this is something that's going to get your attention. Any Destiny 2 fans out there? Well, they announced today, coming to the Series X, they are doing a new version of it called Beyond Light. It's going to debut on 11/10/2020. It's going to have all expansions of Destiny 2. So if you wanted to jump in Destiny 2 and you haven't gave it a chance, and you love MMOs, and you love first-person shooters, give it a chance. You will not have to pay for any expansions. They're all there for you at the touch of an install. Check that out. One of the games that really kind of stuck out to me that I've never played the first one, and it came out in 2007, long time ago, Stalker. I don't know what the game's about. I'm definitely looking more into it, but from what I saw from the reveal, it looks like you're a person checking out and investigating an area kind of like Chernobyl. You have a gas mask. It's third person, and switches over to first person in some parts. It looks really good. It looks really creepy. It's one of the games that I'm definitely checking out. Next game we have is another game that I'm not about, but I know a lot of PC players are all about, and that's Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. I don't understand Warhammer. I think it's an RTS strategy game, if I'm correct. I might be wrong on that, so don't hold me to it. But I know a lot of people are very, very big into that franchise. So anybody that's out there that loves that particular game, you got a new game coming real soon. Now, one of the things going on in this showcase that I've noticed is, if you go through the games I've already went over, there's something for everybody in this showcase so far. You got third-person shooters, you got first-person shooters, you got MMOs, you got RPGs, you got survival horror. The next game they showed off is another type of game that a lot of people like, that is not like every other game that's been shown so far. Tetris Effect, coming out holiday 2020. The way they did this reveal was really, really cool. They showed all the Microsoft community people coming together, playing with their families, playing with their dog, playing with their cat, playing with their loved ones, just playing games. And that is Microsoft's biggest thing, is I don't care where you play games, just play games. Play with the community. And Tetris Effect is going to be strictly console-based, the Kinect version, for the Xbox Series X. They didn't say if it was a time exclusive, but they definitely did say it was an exclusive to Xbox, and I know it is coming to Nintendo Switch and PS5 as well. They didn't give a time on that, though. After that, they showed off another weird indie artistic game called The Gunk. It was really weird. I don't know what to judge of it just from first thing. It's a third-person adventure indie game, artistic visuals, and it's very interesting looking. Looks kind of like a cartoony comic book, but it looks kind of interesting. So it's another game to look out for if you're interested. I don't know who was interested. A couple months back, they introduced the Blair Witch game for the Xbox One and the PS5. I beat that game. It's very creepy and very interesting. If you're a Blair Witch fan, it's right up your alley. There wasn't a lot of combat in it, but it was very exploratory and very creepy on the visuals. The tone, the atmosphere, the score, everything was hands-on perfect. I'm not a big fan of the Blair Witch movies, but I definitely like the game. So they're coming out with their new game, The Medium. Now what was cool and right off the bat about this was they put right there in bold letters that in this game you're going to deal with dual reality gameplay. You're going to have two different styles of art simultaneously going on at the same time. Kind of like Silent Hill, where you're walking in a school and then all of a sudden, pop. Horrifying graphics, creepy imagery. It looks fucking badass, to be completely honest with you. It's beautiful looking, it's creepy. The two worlds are rendered at the same time. It's hands down beautiful. And again, pushing at 60 frames a second, native 4K. As we are coming down to the end of the showcase, they were kind of throwing out a couple things that I'm not really a fan of, but I know a lot of people are. I guess it's the 20-year anniversary of Phantasy Star Online 2. They're coming out with a new expansion with the game called New Genesis. It's pretty much a JRPG from Japan. It's got mecha-type gameplay in it. You're fighting big monsters and big robots, and it looks pretty sweet. Not my camp, but definitely pretty cool. Something to look forward to. Right around the end, there was only about 2 games left. The second to last game was Crossfire X. Now, I'm not a fan of Crossfire X. It's done by Remedy, who also did the original Max Payne games. They also did the Quantum game that came out, and they just did Control, which a lot of people loved on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Their new game is called Crossfire X. They showed a little bit at E3 last year, but they really went into gameplay this year in this showcase, and it looks fantastic. And they did a very creepy version, sung as a depressed lullaby of X is Gonna Give It To You from DMX. It was really weird, but it worked for what they showed. Pretty much, I thought they were going to end there, because I thought they were going to do the worst kept secret reveal of all time, but they did not go there yet, so I thought maybe, maybe they weren't going to go there. So they went into that. They said, smart delivery, everything you've seen is going to be on Game Pass. Immediately as soon as they drop, you can download it and install it and play it and see if you like it. If you like it, you can buy it for cheaper. But when Series X comes out this fall, 100 titles that's already on Xbox One are going to be smart delivered to your Xbox Series X. That includes Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that includes Gears 5, that includes Halo Infinite. So a bunch of titles that are old school are going to be able to get an update so you can have a free copy of that game on your Series X. So they went over everything that we pretty much went over now at the very end, and they said they saved the best for last. Now, if you've been following Xbox at all, there is the worst kept secret that's been the rumor, hands down, that everybody knew was coming, but they did not announce it. Now, for me, I'm very excited about this because I came to the game very late. A lot of people love this game. Fable. They finally debuted Fable. Didn't have gameplay trailer, So there was no gameplay involved. So that means they're still working on it. It's probably going to be another year before it's out to our hands. But they debuted it. It's revealed. I'm stoked. I can't wait. I want to play Fable. I tried to get into Fable, the old school Fable game for the original Xbox. I can't get into it, so I never played it. I never played it all the way through because the old school graphics, I couldn't go back in time and play it. I couldn't do it. But people live by Fable. They live by Fable. They say Fable 1 and 2 are two of the best games Xbox ever created, and Fable 3 really dropped the ball. And then they tried doing Fable Legends, which was the failed MMO for Fable that nobody liked. So, with it not being Fable 4, and just being called Fable, I can safely say it is a remake, reboot of the series for the new generation. I'm excited. As long as it's done right, I'm all for it. I'm going to get it. Once it drops on Game Pass, I'm going to get it. And if I like it, I'm going to buy it. So all those games that I said are going to be on Game Pass right when they straight up drop. So go ahead and get them. Check them out. If you like them, install them. Here's a couple things that I wanted to see that I didn't get to see, but I might see in the August event because there is another one coming, and it felt like there's more games coming for first party that they didn't get to show that is going to be part of the August event. One of the things I wanted to see more of, that now everybody's all about Cyberpunk 2077. Everybody, I know that's going to be a great game. I know it's going to be a massive game because anything that's done by the people that did Witcher, it's going to be massive. That is not the RPG I'm looking for. I mean, I'm going to play Cyberpunk because it looks fantastic. It looks beautiful in 4K. But the RPG that I'm going to play first, that I've been waiting for, is VTM Bloodlines 2. VTM being Vampire the Masquerade. I thought they were going to show more trailers, another trailer for it, or gameplay, because it's supposed to be out this year. They didn't show any gameplay, they didn't show another trailer, but either way, the game's great. If you're into Vampire the Masquerade, we're a selective few. There's not a lot of us out there. People that like D&D and vampires and werewolves and all that stuff, Vampire the Masquerade is going to be up your alley. Another thing I was hoping they were going to announce, and again, they didn't announce it, and the longer it goes on, the more I'm thinking it's not going to happen. Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy. It's been a secret that it's coming out, it's coming, with the problem with Anthem, and the problem with Mass Effect Andromeda, and the divisiveness of Dragon Age Inquisitor. BioWare needs to come back in that fans' graces. Nothing was better, in my opinion, than that Mass Effect trilogy. Say what you will about the ending and how divisive it was. We could go on a whole other review on how everybody's divisive about that. It didn't work for everybody, but it worked for me. They need to get in their good graces again. They need to make a remastered trilogy. Because I was late to that game. I played Mass Effect 2 when it came out for PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3. Once it came for PlayStation 3, I beat the second one, didn't know much about it, loved it. By the end of that suicide mission, I loved it. Mass Effect 3, I loved it. The ending was a little wonky, but still had a great time with it. I was one of those ones that jumped out, got Mass Effect Andromeda, I got the Collector's Edition, I was so happy for it, and then I played it, and I played about 20 hours of it, and it just was not there for me. I was so bored. I thought they could have went another direction with it. The villain was okay, but it didn't go anywhere. So, for me, I was like, whatever. Then the rumor came out that there was a remastered trilogy. I was like, oh, I'm so down. So down. Another thing I thought we were going to get a trailer for that was announced at the Activision conference, Crash Bandicoot 4. I thought they were going to do that because they're pushing it because it's on all consoles, PlayStation 5 and Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I thought they were going to go with Crash Bandicoot 4. This could be the fourth game to a saga the way they did in the Insanity Trilogy. They built the Insanity Trilogy from the ground up, and it was fantastic. Everybody loved it. They thought it was great. It was what Crash Bandicoot should have been. And we got to relive all those games again in beautiful graphics. 4 looks like it's going to be the same way. Again, I think it was a missed opportunity that they didn't show it. But, you know, here's my flaw with this conference. Now, I'm a Team Xbox all the way. Everybody that knows me knows I'm Team Xbox all the way. But I'm not biased. If they screw something up, I'm going to call it out because everybody has to be accountable. This was the conference that they were supposed to blow people away. And they were supposed to, if you were on the fence about coming to the Xbox ecosystem, this was supposed to be the conference to pull you over and say, this is the reason why you have to have an Xbox Series X going forward. It was a great, solid conference. Don't get me wrong. This was a great, solid showcase. But there wasn't that one game. I mean, Fable, okay, but they didn't show any gameplay. They didn't show anything. There wasn't that one game that said, this is why you need to come to Xbox. If you weren't already a fan of Xbox, if you were already a fan and you already loved the Xbox ecosystem and you already knew you were going to get a Series X, then this thing worked for you. This showcase solidified why you want an Xbox Series X. Fans like my best friend, who's a pro PlayStation fan, there's no games over there that's going to like, you have to buy an Xbox. That's what I hope this showcase was going to be. Was going to be people that were PlayStation loyalists being like, well, I have to get an Xbox now because this game looks incredible. So, I'm hoping the August 4th, I think it's August 4th, somewhere in August. I heard rumors August 4th, I heard middle of August, but in August, they're going to do their conference for the other half of the studios that Microsoft acquired and show you the rest of the first-party lineup. Now, this showcase also didn't show us a price point, didn't show us the pre-order date, and that's because Microsoft and Sony are playing chicken with each other to see who jumps first to see what the price is going to be, when's it going to pre-order. Let's be real, alright? You're going to have to jump sooner or later, somebody, because we want to pre-order these things. I know people that want to pre-order their PS5s now. I know people that want to pre-order their Series X now. The August event is also rumored to show their all-digital version, kind of like PS5's all-digital version, but their lower tier Xbox, codename Lockhart, which I think they're just going to call it an Xbox Series S. That's what everybody's calling it in the industry. I think it's going to be called that too. And it's going to be, then you're going to see that, and I bet you any amount of money, that is the event that if Sony hasn't dropped the ball or jumped the trigger, that is when Microsoft's going to show a price point, a PlayStation, or a pre-order date, and what the next system's going to look like. On another note, I don't like any way the systems look like. I think they're both horrible. Okay, I think both of them look horrible. The Xbox looks like a mini fridge. The PlayStation 5 looks like a burnt piece of meat wrapped in a towel. So, you know, but it's not about what it looks like. It's about what it can do. So I'm going to wrap this up. So everything that I've said are going to be on, I want to push that Game Pass, best thing in video gaming right now. Everything that I announced at this showcase will be on the Game Pass when it launches, when the games launch on day 1. So if you're on the fence about it, you can download it by getting Game Pass, $10 a month. Play all these brand new games. If you like it, you can buy them. So I will be back when I have more news on Xbox or PlayStation. And stay tuned for the August event, which I will be doing a review on that too. So until later, I'm Jay Krimson. This is the STM Game Space. I'll catch you all later. Keep gaming.